my husband tried to have the conversation with me about having a second wife. You want to know what I said? Hey Glam Dolls, so I'm back again with another tutorial, and as you've seen by the intro and the title of this video, yes, my husband tried to have the conversation with me about having a second wife. Okay, so as I do my makeup, that is what I will be discussing in this video. Now, before I get too far into the video, I will be utilizing my Disney Villains Cast a Spell, a beauty book. How appropriate is this makeup palette for the topic that's at hand? Because it seems like I might have to cast a spell. So anyhow, this is actually the Ursula version, the Ursula Disney Villains Cast a Spell beauty book, and I've been collecting these beauty books since about, I want to say 2013. Once you get it open, it has a mirror right here on that side, and let me cover the mirror. Here is the actual eyeshadows right here. So I'm loving the color scheme that's going on in this, and I will be utilizing this throughout the video. Just wanted to quickly get that out there to you all, so in case you may have questions about it. So without further ado, let's get this video going. Okay dolls, so now we're ready to get to the topic of that's at hand. Per usual, I'm recording this in natural daylight. So far, Mother Nature seems to be minding her business and not minding mine. Meanwhile, the lighting seems to be going quite nicely. Honestly, I prefer recording with natural daylight. You know, I know so many be like, hey, why don't you just use artificial lighting? I don't want to do that. I like how the makeup comes out when I use the natural daylight. It's just Mother Nature. She be doing the most. So as I was saying in the intro, my husband did try to have the conversation with me about having a second wife. And not from the standpoint that we ourselves or he himself wanted to do something like that. And as I share my thoughts about this, if you really think about it, a lot of people choose to do it for a plethora of different reasons. It's not always from a religious standpoint. So I do want to stress that. And I'm going to start opening this book. Now, another reason why this topic even came up between my husband and I, because he's starting his own podcast. Yes, he's doing his own podcast. And that's one of the many discussions that will be going on in his podcast. I'm gonna say this again 1,010,000 times: recording in natural daylight. So far so good. But if this lighting, if I get really dark or really bright, you know who's doing what they doing. So as I was saying, he gonna have his podcast, and that's one of the many discussions that will be going on in his podcast, because honestly, I respect the women that do that, and you know, or I respect those in general that can do something like that. Okay, because I know my limitations. And that's not going to work for me. Don't mean it won't, it can't work for those who do choose to be in that kind of lifestyle. It don't mean it won't work for them. It just means I know my own limitations, and that is not going to work for me. And I don't pass judgment on those that participate and do stuff like that, because that's very admirable. Okay, that is very admirable for them to be able to do that. So I also want to get the comment section going. You know, I want some interaction here. So comment down below, give me your thoughts on the concept of having a second spouse, knowingly, not secretly, but knowingly. Like, what are some of your thoughts about it? How would that work for you? Will that work for you? Oh, look at you, babe.
I'm gonna show you something.
I know, but I was just having, what's that? I was actually just in conversation with my dog, telling him about your conversation you tried to have with me. No, seriously, no, when you was talking about the whole second wife thing.
What, are you telling them from a negative point?
No, I'm not. I honestly didn't give it from a negative standpoint. See that? Nope, I didn't. I was just because
What was the face? You just made a face when you
No,
said
I
it.
didn't. I was telling them that the conversation came about between us because you're gonna be doing the podcast. You're gonna be doing the podcast, and that's one of the many opening discussions that's going to be going on, or topics, you know, similar if not like that. So, but share your thoughts about it.
I mean, it's not for me to share my thoughts. You know, it's for those that can make it work. You probably want to look at it from a deeper perspective than just trying to man bash while you bring it up.
I didn't get that far into the conversation about man bashing. Actually, you just came over here with me starting it. I'm looking for my dark brown eyeshadow.
Well,
you
look
just
for the second wife. That would be dope. You laughing at me now.
You're making me choke.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna let you get back to your dolls.
I was just saying that, and I just started saying to them that it don't have to come from a religious standpoint. Some people are into threesomes. Some people are into, like, you know, some people go, oh, that's my wife, but they not legally married, but they want another girlfriend. You know, they open about it. Or some people just like to explore their sexuality with having a concubine.
Well, where are you at with it?
I'm at having the conversation with you about your podcast with it. No, seriously, I know my limitations. That's not going to work for me. I was sharing from the standpoint of you doing the podcast.
Yeah, I'm gonna have the podcast and we're gonna talk about that stuff and other stuff.
I need to darken this.
It would be nice if we had a second wife, though.
I was having the conversation for the podcast. We can laugh. Yeah, let's laugh. Let's laugh.
No, let's not laugh. Let's honestly give it some conversation. You want to have the conversation before the podcast? We had a conversation before the podcast.
Dolls, like I was saying, you comment down below. Is that something that, you know, can work for you? Because like I was saying, you have some that do it, and not from a religious standpoint. And if you are going to comment, as we all comment, let's be respectful to each other down in the comment section, because I want to positively do some engagement. I don't want people to feel like they're being attacked nor judged for what they choose to believe in or want to do. Okay. Oh, I'm using my NYX eyeshadow base. Using an eyeshadow base really helps to bring your eyeshadows out. Ooh, look how pigmented. Ooh, Lord. Color you see, you are definitely going to get. Whoa, look at how gorgeous this is. Like I said, I've been collecting these Disney books since 2013. When Walgreens started having them in their store. I'm now going to go in with the green. And I'm using these colors because of what I'm wearing today, which you'll see. Let's do a little bit of green. Whoa. Look at this. Wow. Now you can't really tell. I hope you can tell the green is transitioning into the blue. You can see that, right? I see it. I never did use the eyeshadow colors. I was just collecting the actual book. But these colors are so freaking gorgeous. What? I'm impressed. See, that's why I don't do my foundation till afterward. I am really impressed. I'm now going to go with this. This is blush, but I'm going to use it as an eyeshadow because there's no rules to makeup when it comes to me. Let's put this. Ooh. Ooh. Wow. This is absolutely gorgeous. Oh yes, honey. Wait till I get to the blending. Oh man, this is gorgeous. I just want to blend that out because I don't want the harsh line and demarcation there. And that's another thing, like I was saying, I really respect the women that do something like that, and not from a negative standpoint. Nothing about what I was saying came from a negative standpoint. I was just clearly expressing that I know what my limitation is, and I know that's not something I am willing to do, but it don't mean that it can't be done, and it don't mean that I don't respect those who are able to do it. That takes a lot, you know. That takes a lot, and that just takes something that I know I don't have, and I know my limitations, and that right there definitely is my limitation. So now I just need to add my false eyelashes and wing liner. Okay, so I got the false eyelashes and wing liner on, and let's continue. So another reason for why the whole second wife topic came up, because a few months back a relative of ours became very open that that's something that they were doing within their marriage. And how it came about was, we were at a family function, and the relative couple, they showed up and they had, you know, like a female with them. So we thought nothing of it. It was a function, you know, party, music, drinks, whatever, and they brought a female with them. So during the function, the female that they brought with them, excuse me for not looking at you because I am looking for my foundation. Let's get back to the story. So they show up at the function with this female, and like I said, we thought nothing of it, it's just one of their friends. But at some point during the function, the female started being affectionate towards the relative husband. So we were like, first the women, that is, the women of the family, we was like, you about to get it. So we went to approach the relative and was like, why is she being affectionate towards your husband, sitting on his lap and stuff like that, and you know, playing with his ear? So it was at that point when the relative was like, oh, you know, that's our second wife. She came out with it. Now that goes back as to what I was saying in the beginning of this video, how some people don't do it from a religious standpoint. When she said that was their second wife, of course, you know, many was asking like, hey, what's going on? And that's your new religion, or you polygamous? And she was like, no, we're just exploring our marital sexuality. So it was at that moment where, of course, the women, and we had to fall back. Once the relative explained what was going on, I quickly resulted to, all right, mind my business. You know, that's what they do. And she was just saying how they're exploring their marital sexuality, and her and her husband, you know, they have a second wife and stuff like that. So shortly after the party, you know, that became the talk of the family, honey. Child. So people start in the family talking about them. And then the older women of the family went over to her home to call themselves doing like this intervention. Like, what is going on? Did he put you up to this? This, that, and the third. So when they went over there, they were met with quite a surprise that that was something that as a couple they are deciding to do. And really what goes on in their household doesn't affect anyone else's household. So like, why are you being in their business? So I bring all that around into full circle to say, it's not always done from a religious standpoint. Some people will have a concubine. Some people they call it menage a trois, and some people call it a second wife, or whatever the case may be, or some really do it from a religious standpoint. So that's why I said let's get the comment section popping. Comment down below, you know, share your thoughts on, is this something that would work for you? Is it something that you have honestly already done? And whatever, as long as the comments are being respectful and positive, because we're not here to pass judgment on those who do choose to have that lifestyle. Because if that lifestyle don't work for you, then it don't work for you. It don't mean it can't work for another. Clearly, as I've said in the clearly, as I have said in the beginning of this video, where the hubs try to have that conversation, he know. I know he was just doing that for the camera with you all, because we have literally honestly talked about that. Oh my gosh, the podcast is going. He has a chat group where he has open discussions similar to like what I'm talking about in today's video. So if you dolls are interested in joining in on that chat group, I will be sure to put that information down in the description box below. We call it like, it's an open-minded chat group, so you know, everybody's free to express their opinions on the matter, as long as it's done respectfully and you don't attack those who may differ in whatever the opinion is that you have on the subject. The look is coming together, dolls. It is coming together. So now, with whatever residue is on this makeup brush, I'm gonna blend out around the perimeter of my nose so I don't have any harsh lines and demarcations. Let's move into, I'm now going to apply my blush. Now this blush is by e.l.f. Cosmetics, okay? It's called Twinkle Pink, but it's the exact dupe for the NARS Orgasm, okay? Exact dupe. Now I'm not much of a blush wearer, so a little bit is gonna go a long way. Put that back. And now, to conclude this video, is for me to apply my lipstick. Apply my lippy. I'm tempted to do a fuchsia lip. No, I'm gonna apply this. Okay. Now for the full completed look. And voila! This is the full completed look. Not bad. I really do like how this eyeshadow look came out, and that Disney villain book definitely surpassed my expectation. But this is now concluding the video. I really want to get the comment section popping, so I'm looking forward to reading all you dolls' comments in regards to the topic that was at hand about, you know, having a second wife. It doesn't have to, you know, come from a religious standpoint, okay? It don't have to be based upon it, you know, being religious, but I am interested in seeing what are your thoughts about it, because if your spouse came to you talking about, oh, I want a second, you know, a third partner, or a second partner, a spouse, or a wife, what would you do? Yeah, what would you do? So on that note, dolls, this concludes the video. Everything that I use will be listed down in the description box below. Thank you all for taking the time to watch this video. I look forward to reading you dolls' response, and I will see you in another tutorial again shortly. Later, dolls.